a minute, do some more songs with us. Those are the Muses. So Eliza is 15, Kirsten is 12, and Lucy is 10. The next tune we're going to do is called Down to the River. It's one that Peter wrote, and in Salt Lake where we live right next to the Jordan River. So in Salt Lake City, just north of Salt Lake City, we have the Great Salt Lake, which is one of 2 salt lakes in the whole world. And so because the other one is in Israel and is called the Dead Sea, and the river that flows into it is the Jordan River, then of course when the pioneers came to Utah, it only made sense to name that river the Jordan River. So we actually have the Jordan River right out our back gate. So when we moved there, all of a sudden it just seemed like time to write songs about rivers somehow. So this is a song called Down to the River, and it's about our hope for a better world.
Well, I better get a better tuning.
Better tunings always make for better worlds. That's the truth. So how many of you play instruments out there? A lot. That's awesome. What do you play?
I play the violin.
Really? That is so cool. Those are the 2 instruments that I was learning when I was your age. Awesome. How about you?
I'm learning to play the guitar.
Very cool. Okay, so we got 2 of those instruments covered right here. And what do you play?
The piano.
Piano. Very good.
Went down to the river on the shore, vowed to study war no more. Gonna live in peace with fellow man. Oh, brothers, sisters, come and lend a hand. My sword into a plowshare, hurt the soil, peace with care. Gonna keep on marching, not for war, but for the causes are worth my dying for. Every dream has a chance to be, see the grow a reality, and so I hope that someday we'll meet down by the river. thank you. We were hoping it would lend us authenticity living by the River Jordan, you know, folk singers who get to practice crossing over daily. We have good news. This is the other side, and y'all are wonderful. We were kind of worried about where we might find ourselves, you know, being folk musicians and all.
Well, I want to introduce this next instrument. Does anybody know what this is? Yes.
Viola.
Viola, awesome. Do you know the difference between a violin and a viola?
A viola is a little bit deeper.
Yep, exactly. Very good. So it goes one string lower than a fiddle, and then the fiddle can go one string higher. So that's big difference. And they're bigger and more awkward to play, I have to say. But they're very cool. So and this instrument right here is what?
Banjo.
That's right, banjo.
It is banjo. It's a little even closer to a frying pan. Plus, this is an extra long neck banjo, so you can stick it in the fire from farther. No, we don't want to do that. Well, we're going to play you a song about a friend of ours, Salt Lake City, someone we admire very much. Down in West Virginia, the old timers know how corporations traded miners' lives for coal. Now the work is safer, but the mountaintops are gone. The riches from the ground never hang around too long. Clouds cast shadow that rises from the stones, fills the empty harbors of Logan and Minot. You can hear the echo of the redneck union boys. We're not asking for your mercy, we're asking you to join. Native of that country, came out west to school, worked with troubled youth, helped them learn to keep down. But some rules were made for breaking, and all the world should know about an insider auction, oil and gas and coal. Walking to that room, maybe looking in the eye, losing is bitter, he raised his hand to buy. Purchase all the land, even though he had no point, wasn't looking out for mercy. He was there to join. Recent meals of justice, powerful elite, called him in the court an example they thought he'd. He answered in a voice that shook the very room, and flashed his allegiance stood there alone. This is what love looks like when lives are in the wrong. The only choice to make is what side will be on. I'm not afraid to stand against those who destroy. I'm not looking for your mercy, no. I'm asking you to join. Will you walk with him? Will you rise and use your voice? We're not looking for your mercy. We're asking you. Well, Mary.
Oh, wait,
We're gonna have Mary play the mandolin for you. I was kind of sneaky. I wanted her to play the mandolin, so I wrote this tune, and I said, "Hey, do you want to play the guitar part or the mandolin part?"
I said, where's the fiddle part? He said, there isn't one. Which instrument do you want to learn? I was like, what? So there may be, we're kind of two different kinds of people. I'm the kind of person that likes to learn how to do something and then I stick with that because I know how to do it. And Peter's the kind of person that he's distracted and he wants to do something new all the time. We've got probably have both kinds of people in this audience right here, right? So he plays all the different instruments and I try to stick with what I know, but he keeps pushing me out of my comfort zone, which is good. And I help keep us a little bit focused once in a while.
Anybody out there have a pet at home? A couple of you. Anybody wish you had a pet at home? I was going to say, because at home, our cats, no, I'm just kidding. Our cats had a litter. That happened years ago, and then we got responsible. We started realizing that, you know, they're very lovely, and we want them all to be taken care of well. We've got actually a dog at home. And we live right along the river, like I told you. So not a few months ago, a skunk somehow got in our yard. And I don't think our dog had ever met a skunk before. It was pretty sad. We washed him with everything we could think of, everything everyone suggested. Let me just say, grapefruit juice is probably, I wouldn't go for that. Tomato juice was a mess too.
And he still smelled bad.
And he still smelled bad after all that. Only he smelled like skunk with tomato and grapefruit juice.
What do you smell like?
Anyway, he needed some love. And so I usually when we're out of town, I always think of him while we're singing this song. I used to know a little dog down the street from me. I saw her every day as I walked to the city. She looked half starved and I wondered once why her people didn't care. Even in the winter time, she was always there. First time that I met her, we didn't hit it off. She said she didn't want me there, tried to chase me off. But it happened once that I had some food, and I knew at a glance she could smell it walking by. Her gaze was so intense. A little food, a little love can soften any heart. Getting past the barking, that's the hardest part. Fed her for a couple months. Pretty soon she knew if I stepped onto her block, there'd be a little food. It started out with kitchen scraps, things I'd thrown away. Soon I bought food just for her. Sometimes I'd stop and play. A little food, a little love can soften any heart. Getting past the barking, that's the hardest part. I was just a lonely boy, far from my home. She was just a hungry dog in a yard all alone. A thousand other people must have passed that fence each day. The little dog just barked at them, scared some of them away. But cannot remove the soul's capacity for love, nor can the ignorance of those who treat their dogs so rough. A little food, a little love can take